So multiplying and dividing complex numbers is a little more intricate, but it's really not too bad. You just need to remember that I squared is equal to negative 1 is kind of the trick to it. So in our first case, we're going to multiply this. So we need to FOIL it out. So we'll rewrite the expression as 1 plus I and 1 plus I. And then this, hopefully you remember FOIL, so 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times I is plus I, and plus I again. And I times I is I squared. So already we've run into this situation. So really this is just equal to 1 plus 2I, and I squared is negative 1. So minus 1. So 1 plus negative 1 is 0, is the real part of this complex number, plus 2I. So that's it's a pretty straightforward example, and really it's just the same as you'd multiply normally, except just remember that I squared is equal to negative 1, so anytime you see that, make sure you switch the I squared with negative 1. So dividing now is really simple as well, but for some reason it gives people a lot of trouble. I know when I was first learning it gave me some trouble too. But the trick to it is we take the conjugate, so we want to get rid of I in the bottom. And to do that, we're going to multiply the bottom, the denominator, by the conjugate, and the numerator by the conjugate of 3 minus I. And the conjugate of 3 minus I is just 3 plus I. So we're going to multiply both of those by 3 plus I. So to put this in math terms, say z equals x plus iy. The conjugate, which we denote by the little bar, is x minus iy. So you just switch the sign of the imaginary part of the complex number. So this is the real part, this is the imaginary part, you flip the sign there. So when we do this, this will remove I in the bottom. So again, we're going to FOIL it out. So 2 times 3 is 6, and 2 times I is plus 2I. I times 3 is plus 3I, and I times I is I squared, which is negative 1. And on the bottom, we're going to get 3 times 3, which is 9, and 3 times I, so plus 3I, then 3 times negative I, so minus 3I, and so that's just going to cancel out, and then I negative I times I, so minus I squared, which is negative 1. So this we can simplify further. It's just 6 plus negative 1, so 5, and 2I plus 3I, so plus 5I. And on the bottom, well, we got rid of all the i's here, so it's just 9 minus 1, so 9 plus 1, so that should be 10. And then this is just kind of just a fun little example here. So this is how you usually you see it. So on your test, this is how it's going to be presented. But just in case they throw this one in, so this is the one scenario that I know of where you don't flip the sign when you get rid of the I in the bottom. You just multiply by I. So usually you take the conjugate of the bottom, multiply the top and bottom by the conjugate. But in this case, we're going to just multiply I. So 3 times I is 3I, plus 4 times I, which is 4I squared, which is negative 1, divided by I times I, which is I squared, which is of course negative 1. So we can simplify this more. So we have 4 times negative 1, it's negative 4, and then we still have the 3i on top. And then at the bottom we just have negative 1. So this is going to be equal to, well, negatives are going to cancel. So 4 minus, so 3i divided by negative 1 is minus 3i. And that's it.